Now, Tokyo's single-day COVID-19 cases surpassed 20,000 for the first time on Wednesday, and over half of Japan's hospital beds reserved for COVID patients are occupied. And Tokyo and most of the country are under restrictions to contain the spread, driven by the Omicron variant. For more on that, we go live to Phoebe Amoroso in Tokyo. Phoebe, hello there. So how bad is the situation?
Well, suddenly we are seeing fresh record highs every day. Daily new cases topped 95,000 on Wednesday, and in Tokyo, over 21,000. We're seeing an upward trend in deaths, still relatively low compared to some countries, but are reaching 82, so up from zero deaths just a couple of months back. We're really seeing a rise also in cluster infections, as schools are among the worst affected, followed by welfare facilities for the elderly. And increasingly, a large number of daycare centers across Japan are being forced to close due to the pandemic. Now, here in Tokyo, the occupancy rate for hospital beds has surpassed 50%, and that has widely been considered a threshold for declaring a full-scale state of emergency. But Prime Minister Fumio Kishida has said this week that he does not plan to call a state of emergency and says it is not necessary. Currently, the government is focusing on serious cases, and in Tokyo, the hospital bed occupancy rate for those with extremely serious symptoms stands at only 5.5%. So we're seeing a shift in approach and policy from the government. That said, the government has just decided to bring Wakayama Prefecture under a so-called quasi-state of emergency from Saturday. So that will bring the total number of prefectures in Japan under some kind of restrictions to 35, and that's out of a total of 47 prefectures. We're really seeing some efforts to show decisive leadership from Prime Minister Kishida. He has promised that he will be spearheading the booster vaccine rollout. And Japan is really lagging behind when it comes to getting these boosters out to people. Currently, only around 4% of the population has received their third dose, and that's believed to be one of the lowest or the lowest among developed nations. The government has promised to expand capacity of a large-scale vaccination center that has just been opened in Tokyo this week. So they're looking to expand capacity to around 2,000 early next week, then up to 4,000, and eventually reaching 5,000. However, these large-scale vaccination centres were set up during the previous peak of coronavirus cases, and the one in Tokyo had a capacity of 10,000. So that is still far less than what was being rolled out previously. So there's a sense here in Japan of deja vu, people waiting for their third dose of the vaccine. But if there is one bright spot, that's Okinawa. Cases are now declining, and medical experts are saying that Okinawa has reached the peak. So the big question is, when will the rest of Japan reach a peak, and when can we expect to see cases start to decline?
All right. Thank you very much, Phoebe Amoroso, reporting from Tokyo.